Welcome to More Than Renovating, a renovate and real estate podcast. Our founder, Belinda Smith, talks to industry experts to provide you with the knowledge and information you need to make renovating for love and profit your reality. Belinda will also chat to some of her Renovation Mastery members who are just everyday people doing extraordinary things, following their passions in the renovation and property space. So, let's jump straight into the episode. Enjoy.
I'm Belinda Smith from Renovate and Real Estate. In today's podcast episode, More Than Renovating, I'm really excited to have special guest with me, Floss Kelly. Flossie, as she's known, is from TileCloud. And TileCloud has been one of my favorite online tile shops for a number of years. I've followed them very, very closely as they've grown their range, grown their reach. And today I'm talking to Floss a little bit about the development of TileCloud and how you guys as renovators can access their product and their systems to really help you put your bathrooms and kitchens and your tiling together. Welcome, Floss.
Hello, and thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
No, it's really nice to have you. I started to watch you guys when you first launched in 2017. I thought, what a unique opportunity. What a great opportunity for people to be able to access really nice on-trend tiles without having to go and visit a showroom, particularly for my renovators out there in the bush at the six. Who may not have access to walk in and touch and feel tiles. So what inspired you guys to start a tile business in 2017?
So I am part of, there's three of us who started TileCloud, myself, Mark, and Drew. And Drew is my brother-in-law. He's married to my sister, and Drew's actually from Mudgee. So he is super aware of the fact that, like, even if you live in a remote, like a regional centre, it's very hard to get your hands on beautiful materials and building materials, even though people out there have the most beautiful homes. So it feels quite different. So Mark and Drew are both from a construction background, and they had a commercial tiling business called Red Rock Tiling. And while they were doing it, Drew realized that there was no one selling tiles online. And so Drew's like, we have to do that. And I was working for a design, my background is ceramics, and I was working for an Australian design company called Mud Australia. And I was working for them, and Drew was like to me, like, Flo, we've got this idea. We're going to do this online tile business. Do you want to come on board as the creative? And I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. Like, while I'm not at work, like, and Drew's like, no, we're like going to do it. Like, we're going to all quit our jobs and we're going to like do it. And I was like, it was the right time for me to be able to take like a lunge and a difference. And so we decided to start TileCloud. And Drew and Mark have the construction background, but also a love for renovating. Drew's done 3 basically knockdown rebuilds in Sydney. Mark's done apartment and a home, and I've done less of them, but more like on the creative side. I've done bathroom and things like that, but I am a bit younger, so it's fine. But that's how we started. We decided we're going to be that online tile store that, has beautiful product and that really speaks to the Australian renovator. We didn't want it to be for, having all European tiles or, things like that. It was about Australian renovators and something that suited our aesthetic. And that's how TileCloud started.
And you've done that so well in that there is a really nice range of tiles there, and they're spot on for the Australian market, but at the same time, not overwhelming. There's not an overwhelming selection.
No, we're all about making renovating simpler. People who are doing a project are making a million micro decisions every single day, and we want to be able to help them when it comes to picking their tiles. We've done all the work for you. We've gone through all the crappy tiles, all the things that you don't want to look at, and we've got a selection of just like beautiful tiles that suit our aesthetic. And so a lot of Australians, a lot of us live on the coast, so we want coastal tiles that are light and bright and airy and work with our natural timbers like a Tassie oak and things like that. And that's what our range does. It's not about we don't have many really dark tiles, because we find that actually just doesn't suit the Australian aesthetic. And so we don't like the word curated, but we have curated the range, because we feel like curated feels too designy, and we're all about renovators and people doing a reno and a project, but we have got a curated range of tiles.
Yeah. So tell me, in short, if you can explain, what services do you offer?
So the whole gamut of like picking your tiles, we have people who come to us when they've been working with an architect or an architectural draft person, they put their bathroom layout together, then they'll normally come to us quite early on trying to pick their materials that they want to use for the bathroom. And so we do now sell tapware, and we're going to be launching vanities soon as well. But we offer a free design service that people can come. We do it over Zoom if they're not located in Sydney, or we do it in our showroom, and we go through your bathroom layout and pick tiles that will work for that space and work with the brief that you're working with. Then we send out samples, and then from samples you can then look and touch and feel them. And then we also help with quoting. So we'll measure up your space for you, tell you how much wastage you'll need depending on what tile pattern you're working with. So if you're doing a herringbone, you need 20% more tiles compared to if you're doing just a normal brick bond because of all the cuts. So we help with that. And then we also do grout selections. So, you'll look at an inspiration image and you'll be like, I want exactly that. And a lot of the time, if it's a smaller tile, it's the grout that's helping pull the full look together. So we do grout selections, and then we deliver it directly to you as well, Australia-wide.
Yes, so nice to hear all of that, Floss. We are faced as renovators with a million decisions, and I think every renovator does not want to stand there and be confused for hours about what is going to look good in their space. Most of us have an idea of how we want something to look like. To have that support is amazing and so different from the average tile shop where you walk in and there's just rows and rows of wall tiles all thrown together, rows of floor tiles all thrown together. And an inexperienced renovator is supposed to be able to walk in there and try and pick things that go together that really match, that have the right look. So to make that really easy for people, you guys have put some research and work into this.
We find as well, most renovators start with an image. They'll be like, I saw this on Pinterest or Instagram or House or something, and this is what I want to create. They don't want to spend all the time picking every single piece in it. And so we as trained professionals look at it and we know all the components which have made that space, and then we're able to show customers a really easy way of like, you need to make sure you have a timber vanity in this color. You need to have brushed brass tapware so that you have the warmth, and then it's a white tile with a white grout. If you do a gray grout, you won't get that look. So it's like breaking down the customer's inspiration to be able to help them pull it together. And so the most valuable thing to us is when people come in with inspiration images, because then we can help them create that look. If people come in, they're like, I don't know what I want, we normally just show them our Instagram and our Pinterest, and we're like, flick through this, and if something speaks to you, that's our starting point.
Oh, that's great, because people have to have a starting point. And they have to create cohesion from one room to the next.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really difficult if they don't have any ideas. Okay, so how do you differ from the other tile suppliers, do you think?
Originally, it was just being online. We were basically the first exclusively online store, and also the first people selling samples online. So we originally did 5 for $15, and then we did, because Australia upped their pricing, we had to up our pricing too. So now it's 5 for $15 for samples, and then we also do tapware, and we're going to launch vanities soon. You can get the timber samples there. So they were the two things originally that really set us apart. And then as our company grew, we realized that our customer service was what was, the real point of difference. So people would come and we just want to help people. We want people to leave TileCloud and go, gosh, that was easy. Like that was, I expected this uphill battle, but it actually, someone listened. They understood my budget, the look and feel I wanted. Maybe a tiler has a restraint on the tile side, depending on the floor waste in the bathroom. Maybe they can only use a 300 by 300 tile. We'll listen to that and, design around those constraints. So we now say our point of difference is our customer service, and just trying to always, listen to what the customer needs, being able to help with their design, and, make sure that they're really satisfied at the end of the project, that they look at their bathroom and they're like, oh, I want everyone to come and see what my bathroom will look like. And most of our customers do post their bathroom renovations on Instagram afterwards. So that's us getting like pure satisfaction of like, oh, if they're happy enough to share it on social media, that means they're pretty happy with how it ended up looking.
Oh, and people do the most beautiful work and the most beautiful designs alongside you guys. They're great, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think Australians have really got this true sense of like design now. It's like a little bit Mediterranean, a little bit of, coastal, a little bit Japandi with like the timber, but we've created our own thing now, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's come a long way. And let's talk about marketing. You guys are on Instagram. Where can people follow you at?
Yeah, so we're at TileCloud on Instagram. We have a big Pinterest mood board as well. So if people are, starting their renovating journey and they're like, I don't even know what to type in to start it, like definitely head over there because we have a bunch of not just bathrooms, kitchens, whole houses, just moods and feels. We also have a TikTok, which we've started. I personally am not a TikTok person, so we hired someone much cooler than all of us to be able to tell us what to do.
Pretty cool videos right back in the day, Floss.
Oh my God. But now you're like, oh my God. But yeah, so we did that. And then, and then we're also on Facebook as well. But yeah, and then our website has a really big gallery on it. So people can go through images there as well.
Do your clients come to you from word of mouth or do they find you online? Like where do you
a lot of people have been following us already before they come. So, we always find that people, when they're starting that renovating journey, it's like when you're planning a wedding, you get so excited, you follow all these different, wedding accounts and you're so involved in it. We find that renovating is the same, where people just get so excited. So they'll follow us and they'll then be following for a long time, and people will come in and they'll be like, oh, I saved this photo 3 years ago when we were looking for the property to renovate and now we found it and now we're finally, renovating. So we find a lot of people find us through socials, or if a friend's done a bathroom, they'll be like, oh, where'd you get the tiles from? And yeah, TileCloud.
And do you think that creates loyalty? Do people come back to you to do like every bathroom or every home?
Yeah, we have a lot of people who they start off with the first thing they'll renovate is their kitchen in their home. Like obviously a bathroom and a kitchen is a big expense, but with a kitchen, you can normally live through the renovation. Unlike if you've only got one toilet, you need to move out. But with a kitchen, most people will do that first and they'll renovate and they'll use TileCloud for the splashback or maybe the floor tiles in the kitchen. And then they'll come back to us afterwards because they'll have had a really good experience and they'll be like, oh, now I want to do the bathroom or the outdoor area.
For you personally, Floss, as a female, in amongst all the men you work with and also in a male-dominated industry, tiles is traditionally a bunch of men going to and from Italy back in the day, importing tiles. That's the tiles companies that I used to work with back in my 20s, which is a while. How have you found it?
It's definitely a very boysy, can be a very boysy environment. Like I definitely have been thought of as the PA and the co-founders because I am the only female, and it's like
the maker.
I know, and it's like their roles are equally as important, but that's it's like the assumptions go for it. I think the thing that I've really decided is not to kind of just to shut out the noise. We were at manufacturers up in Newcastle. We make some of our tiles here in Australia. We're up there and we were seeing one of our beautiful printed tiles being printed, and there was someone who worked there and they looked at me and they go, who buys this? And I was like, all of our customers do. Like I have this insight into what people are doing, and it's like that. I also think as well, lot of renovating, it's the female in the partnership, if it's a male and female partnership, who is making the decisions of what the home can be like. And so we're really big on empowering women to understand what they're signing up for when they're renovating, when a tiler comes into their home and is asking them a bunch of questions about which tile pattern, what tile trim, what grout color. We want all of those women to be empowered to be able to tell people what they want so they get the outcomes they want. And so putting that at the forefront of all of our customer service has been really important to us, and that we listen. So it's just always remembering, to empower women to be able to make those decisions. And it's also lovely to see the industries all kind of change at the moment. There's a bunch of female-led renovating companies which are coming out, and then also more female builders or interior designers who are working with builders to get their work done. So yeah, I feel like there's still massive of space to grow in women being more respected in the construction industry. But we're on the right track, and it's just about being, remembering that what we bring is a different point of view and a really special point of view, and a home and remembering we're creating homes. It's not just a house. And I think that's really important.
Oh, to that point, we have very strong views on what we'd like our tiles to be like, whether cleaning is important, whether grout lines are important, visual, dark light.
I've had women in the showroom who will be looking at like beautiful little Kit Kat tiles and they go, oh, I love them, but I'm not going to do them because I don't want to clean that grout. Let's look at a bigger format time. And then their husbands will go, well, I want them. And then we turn to them and go, well, you can clean it. Like if that's your decision, that's also then your responsibility. Like it's like those decisions are, it's like, it's about functional, beautiful design.
I know, but I love Kit Kat tiles in a shower. So I'm on the we'll just scrub the grout. It doesn't matter.
Me too. And I'm also like, as someone who's busy at work and, as a family at home, I'm like that. I'll just have my cleaner come once more in the month and then they'll be great.
Yeah, I agree. And I truly, we're on the same page when it comes to women leading the charge inside my group. 80% of the phone calls I take are from women who've decided that they want to renovate, and they will drag their partners with them, whoever that partner might be, whether it be kids, adult kids, or husbands, wives, doesn't matter. Women are leading the charge. And I love the fact that I think that building is an equal opportunity sport. There's no reason why we can't do it. Like the guys do. We might be able to lift and carry some things, but we certainly have attributes in other areas that make us extremely good at this craft.
Completely.
Is there any particular tile at the moment that is flying out the door that everybody's loving?
Yes, and it's so obviously everything that we are being 2023, everything on trend at the moment is warm textured tiles and also like smaller formats. And we have a tile called and it's a travertine look subway, and it's on everyone's laundry floor in a herringbone.
Including on my list.
In a vertical stack. And it's just a warm toned. It's great because you can pair it with a warm coloured grout. So there's no white grout that you have to clean. So there's another big tick next to it of why it's good. But it doesn't look too Mediterranean, but it looks a bit Mediterranean. It's a bit coastal, but not too coastal. It works really well with brushed brass, brush nickel, or even like an antique brush colored tapware. And so and also white cabinetry, especially if you're doing like a shaper style cabinet. But that is at the moment, like we just can't keep enough of it. And it's exciting because it's actually a really beautiful tile and it's unique. The price point is, not too high. And so it's very accessible for everyone to be able to install it into their bathroom or laundry.
Yeah, I remember following it the minute it came out, and I was very, very excited for the same reasons. And it seems very practical on flooring.
And it's got a bit of a grippy, it's a non-slip subway. So it's perfect for if it's in the shower on the floor, if you're, older or young kids, it's not going to be slippy either.
Is there something that's coming on trend that you can see that you see as part of your stock in the future, perhaps?
It really is more of these warm, pinky, clay-coloured tiles. That's where it's going. Grey is
gone.
It's gone. It's just gone. It's just not doing what it used to. Like people do. I think we did it and it's done. And now people want their bathrooms to feel like a warm sanctuary that they, even with the downlights, they're picking down, warm tone lighting into their room. It's going across everything. And so I think that will keep happening. And then in tapware, it's definitely the antique colors. So nothing's too perfect. It's a bit, it can look all really clean, but it doesn't have to be perfect, which I like as well.
Yeah, me too. And I think warmth is something you feel when you walk into a property. And I think for renovators, particularly if they're flipping homes, then warmth is something that appeals to a potential buyer. It's a feeling they create as long as well as the smell and the touch and the look, it's feel. Yeah.
Fresh white tiles though would never go out of fashion. Like someone came in the other day and they're like, I'm so over subway tiles. And I was like, subway tiles it's the staple. It's never going to go anywhere.
Never going to go.
And you just change the way they're laid. To make them fresher. So at the moment, it's all about the vertical stack. That's how, probably about 5 years ago, it was all about the herringbone. And so it's just like that they'll constantly evolve into a new, into their new version of a subway.
Yeah. What other products do you see coming? I know you mentioned before you've got taps now, vanities.
Vanities. We're going to do a range. We're going to do a range of vanities, and then we're always looking at doing like toilets and like basins, but just finding the right products to fit our range so that people can do a full bathroom. And then we're always interested in mirrors. We're trying to find the right partner to work with at the moment, but yeah, that would be something as well, because a mirror is kind of like the icing on the cake. Like it can really make a room, like pull it all together, depending what the finish of the mirror is.
And if you've got a design eye, it's something that people can order independently. But if they don't have, or they don't really trust their ability, how awesome for them to turn up to you guys and have everything really catered for all in one space.
Yeah. And one delivery for people, which makes life a little bit easier.
One delivery and leaving nothing up to chance.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so from a TileCloud perspective, a business perspective, what advice would you give anyone starting or wanting to start their own entrepreneurial business?
I actually always say the same thing. This is what we do. And I just always say you just need to try. You don't need to have a fully finished product before you launch it. So when we first launched TileCloud, we actually put 10 products on eBay, and we were selling some products on eBay before we even had the website launched, because we just wanted to see if we could sell some stuff. And we started posting on Instagram, like we had like 10 followers, but it didn't matter, because as we posted, we learned our own tone of voice and how we wanted to talk, and that's constantly evolved and changed. But people, I'm not a perfectionist, so that probably helps, but people think they can't launch a business until it's completely perfect, and it's never going to be perfect. So you need to throw it out there and see if it sticks before you spend a heap of money perfecting it, because people might not like your idea, but people might, and then you can evolve as they go. And then my second piece of advice is always to listen to your customers. If people, there's such great tools on Instagram with polls, and people can send questions and things like that. It's like, ask your customers what they want, what they think. Like, sometimes their opinions will surprise you and you'll have to sit on it for a while, but it's really important to listen to what people are telling you.
I loved when we were talking the other day, and one of the questions you asked me was, what do you think's coming in? Is there anything you particularly would like to see in our stock? And I thought, what a great question. With you and your business, TileCloud, as successful as it is, still eager to find out what it is that the consumer is after.
Yeah, we don't think we know all the answers. Like, that's living like that's a bit boring. If you think I've got everything, I don't need to ask. So we're constantly wanting to talk to people about what they think is coming next, or if they've seen something cool that we haven't seen. But yeah, we're really open always to feedback and ideas. We know, as our own business, we've got a whole bunch of stuff we want to improve on. We still use like a delivery company to deliver all of our orders. We'd love to have ownership over that, so we could control every single time, the timings that everything was delivered and things like that. There's always things to work on, and so we're very open to that.
Yeah, same with me. I'm open to change too. And I still feel like, no matter how far along I am, I still feel like I'm at launch phase.
Oh, completely.
I don't know what it is. So I've just started a business. No, Belinda, you've been going for a while, but I still feel like I'm launching.
And I think that shows the true passion when you feel like that, because you're like, no, this is only version 2 of me. Like, I've got 20 more versions in the tank to go.
That's brilliant. All right, so looking ahead, what are the future aspirations for TileCloud, do you think, and what do you think it takes to continue growing and evolving in this competitive industry of tiles?
Our big goals are, we know that, in our world, we're like, everyone knows who TileCloud is, but there's a bunch of people who have never heard of us. And so that's important for us to make sure that people have heard of our business. Number 2, it's perfecting the whole sales journey, so people feel like they're constantly looked after and they have people to call if they need help. We also want to build out the community of renovators we're talking to, making sure that people, can ask. A lot of people who have used TileCloud tiles have had problems that other renovators will have coming up, and so how to share that kind of information, constantly making our website better, making our delivery process better. There's I'm sure I could bring up about 4 pipelines of things, but it's also like, we need to open another store down in Melbourne. Is that the correct thing for us to do? But and also expanding our tapware line at the moment. That's something that there's some key products which we don't have. And so that's a must at the moment, because it's annoying when you buy stuff from one company, but they don't have, like at the moment, we don't have the door hinges in one of the colors. And that's a fresh, then customers have to go find that, or it doesn't match. And we don't want people to feel like that. So it's just really bedding down what we're doing at the moment. And constantly.
I always kind of launch forward in an imperfect way and then go back and just correct what needs filling in the part.
Because if you wait till it's perfect, you'll be waiting 4 years. You'll never get it.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Floss, so much for spending time with me. I know you're flat out during the day. Renovators, you can contact Floss or contact her team via tilecloud.com.au. Guys, if you're unsure about what to do, to have that service where you can make an appointment and you can be helped through designing your bathroom, particularly where the tiles go, and your tile selection is just a fabulous service, and you all should be leaning on it, particularly if you're stuck. So thank you so much, Floss, for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so great to talk about the business.